So welcome back to lecture number two of literature review. So I hope you have been through as we have discussed in our first video regarding where do we start when we talk of literature review. So the second thing in the second video we shall talk of uh, what are the objectives or main points of literature review and how it can be done. Okay, so let us rewind about our previous lecture, how we have started. We have utilized the Google Scholar. We have typed about the topics and the keywords. We have for filtering the topic so that we can generate the relevant results. We had specified keywords to further slice down using symbols such as plus and uh, connotations and year-wise filtering to gather recent studies. So there are so many ways of doing a literature review. We can also refer to books. So this is one of the most simple way of on digital platform, like on digital interface. Like if you have to use the Google Scholar, it can be done in a very easy manner. So if you refer to the previous video, then or my last video, you can get a grasp of the thing what I'm talking about here right now. So literature review, there are ways to dress it in your study. Uh, Say it can be arranged in the chronological order, or you can also arrange it author-wise. Uh, it also can be arranged in methodology or findings basis. So there are ways. Few studies, if you refer to, you will find that we may find that the few studies go around writing paragraphs of authors, like what the authors have said, or what study they have conducted, or what their methodology was, and what they found. Uh, those things are revealed. And again, few studies you might find that they will write the things are written on the basis of what methodologies they have adopted, and it is all scrambled around, so it becomes difficult for us to understand sometimes. So those kind of papers, again, there are things like literature grid. So literature grids are very simple, but however, it gives a very heuristic view of the investigation. The heuristic, when I say heuristic, it means that it provides, it acts as a tool for self-learning and self-discovering regarding any topic or anything that you want to uh, go for study. So it can be very effectively done by arranging on the basis of the variables that you require for your study. Again, it can also be made on the basis of the construct of the study. The construct, when I say construct, say if you want to conduct a study on the basis of on conduct a study on certain phenomena, say customer satisfaction, that becomes a construct. Satisfaction becomes a construct. You want to explore the demographic profile of certain area. So the demographic profile, understanding the demographic profile becomes the construct of your study. So again, if you want to survey employee perception regarding an organization, that then employees' perception becomes your construct. So this is how you can also arrange your literature grid. So this is an example of a simple literature grid with very fundamental level of literature grid, where you have we have put down some serial numbers, author year, title of the study, construct, methodology, findings, variables, and implication. That implication area becomes very important in cases of arranging literature review, as it talks about how it is going to help, how the output or how the findings are going to help the help the society, or what is the implication of the study in a broader perspective. So that is to be narrated here in the part of implication. So what we do is basically this kind of literature grid is, it is not exhaustive. See, you have to understand, you have to anticipate that it may go through metamorphosis, like, and the basis of the nature of the study, it may rearrange. You may rearrange the things. You can you may put off the title of the study. Some like, institutions do not require they do not require the title of the study. They would require just the name of the journal, maybe, or with the author and the year. You should also include the journal, or you may not require the construct at some point of time. You may not require methodology. So there will be only 3 to 4 columns only: author, year, journal name, and findings and implications. This is how there are various ways of representing what you how you can put off this uh, literature review grid. So the basic idea is there should be a pattern of representation of the literature. So let us go into it. If we just can go through something like, say, here I have put up a simple literature grid as presented in the PPT. So I have put up my study talks about customer satisfaction and FMCG products. So my construct becomes consumer satisfaction. Okay. So now let us find any kind of consumer satisfaction related studies. So I've already written it here. Consumer satisfaction, consumer satisfaction plus, we have done it earlier, retail or FMCG. FMCG. Okay, let us find something here. Impact of FMCG product consumer satisfaction in the city of Jodhpur, empirical analysis. So when it says empirical analysis, then we understand that certainly they have employed some methodology where they will be they will be going for some surveys of some sort. So from the study we can understand that, okay, it talks about the impact of the FMCG product sales variables on consumer satisfaction in the city of Jodhpur. So let us take, without wasting any time, let us take first the name of the author. Here it would help us on citation. Let us take the title of the study. Okay, here the methodology. Now we should go. Now we at least we have an objective. Now we can fill in those things, and we can just we have a certain format where we can go on. Now we know what we want. From here also you can just put up a paragraph. You can keep it aside. You may not put it in your study, but this is how you can gather your literature. Okay, so that more things can get accumulated on a basis of in a very particular basis. So let us go here and find the study. Cookies. Now with this paper, I hope we get the paper right. Yeah, okay, it is getting downloaded. So some paper will be displayed directly on the Explorer. In some paper you might have to download, and in this manner it gets downloaded and we can just explore it here. So what does it say? Sales promotion has become an important part in abstract. We just can go through the abstract in a very overview kind of like point of view. So industry, because the sales promotion product sales variables have to appeal the buyers. Product sales promotion through give the advantage of lower. The basic aim of this paper is to build a strategic base to analyze customer satisfaction. To build a strategic base to analyze customer satisfaction. So they really want to understand how to, what are the things that more matter when we talk about customer satisfaction. So now let us go to the introduction part. We can just skip it through, roll our eyes over it. Then this gives a basic idea of how things run: sales, promotion, quality, consumer purchase, customer satisfaction happens. Okay, so they have put up a literature review. You can see here the literature review is put up in a very nice way, in a bullet point manner. but you might observe that they didn't follow any kind of chronology to say. Okay, so here the total is 1998, there's 2004, 95, but they must have gone through with something, some sort of pattern. Okay, uh, so they have talked about the okay, so they have talked about the marketing mixes. So this is how they can also literature review can be said. So let us understand what is the objective, the impact of the product attributes on consumer satisfaction. Product attributes, okay, product attributes effect on consumer satisfaction. The satisfaction of purchase decision determine the impact of quality dimension on consumer satisfaction. To frame the strategy for providing better services. Okay, fine. So research methodology. So what do we have to find next? Methodology, right? So we go to methodology. Primary data collected mainly by personal administration of structured questionnaire. Okay, operator selected samples of customers. Okay, so we copy it here. So primary data, how it was taken by using convenience based random sampling. So this becomes a bit ambiguity. There, here it is speculative, like convenience-based random sampling, which I need to inspect it again later. But for now, I'll have to just demonstrate why. I just want you to understand how it can be done. So statistical analysis research instruments, they have submitted like a Likert scale, or must have used some kind of scale, sample designing, sample size, total of 201 samples. So methodology basically convenience sample, and they have the study has gone for primary data through questionnaire method. Okay, so now next what we want? So we want to understand the findings. What were the findings? So let us go to findings. In methodology also you can put things such as whatever is narrated here. You can also talk about the sample size, and a total of 201 sample size have been used. So you can also put it here. Uh, so respondents. So the area of research they have mentioned, and research instruments. A summated rating scale has been used of 6 choices. So this is also a very useful thing for us to understand. So this thing has been put up. Now we go to directly to the findings. Okay. So what does the findings say? There can be a lot of analysis out there, but we have to go directly to the findings, inference and implication. Uh, so the findings is say results of the hypothesis testing. There is no significant reason reject. Okay, there is no signal. So the null hypothesis says, acha, okay, we can talk about null hypothesis and the hypothesis. What are alternate hypotheses? We can talk about it later. I assume that you have already understood about hypothesis, or we can talk about this thing on our next lectures as well. So the null hypothesis says that there is no significant difference about product attributes and customer satisfaction among customers classified by age using. So that age has no implication. So this hypothesis has been rejected. So there is a significance. So here the things that have been, there is no significant difference between product attributes and customer satisfaction amongst classified by age. Age is a age can be a variable. Findings and variable that is age comes under demography. There is no significant difference amongst alternate attributes customer satisfaction classified by age group. Okay, yes, it is accepted. There is no significant difference about attributes customer satisfaction classified by gender. So you can understand they are talking about gender. So gender means it also comes about demographic. There is no significance regarding education. So they have talked about the variables that yes, education, gender, age, education have a part to play in consumer satisfaction. So what does the conclusion say? So they have inferences, and they have said many things about how to enhance customer satisfaction. So consumer satisfaction is important for company to build sales. So what is the implication? Implication, you can put up the whole uh, this one conclusion part here as implication, how it is helping, or you may not also implication, uh, to provide strategies for for offering better customer satisfaction. So this, you can be precise as this part, and you can carry on like this is how you can simply put up your, you can realign it, keeping it a single format, format like you can format it and give it a very crisp form, so that you can identify. You can also align it here, you can align the text right here, cell alignment, you can put it right here, and this is how it looks, crisp. Okay, so in the same manner you can put number 2, you can go for some a different study. So this is how a literature grid can be provided. See, from here, age, gender, education, you get the variables. So now you understand that in your questionnaire you have to put age, gender, and education. From where did you get your this annotation? How do you know that age, gender, education would be relevant to your study? Because Mathur.d in 2011, in his study of impact on FMCG product sales variables on customer satisfaction in city of Jodhpur, an empirical analysis has found. So thank you so much. Please stay up. We can talk about the further things, and we can talk in details later.